We're good.
Some of us are gooder than others.
It's more gooder.
More gooder.
It's America, goddammit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Church of Chonkwij podcast. My name is DrNiggle. I'm joined tonight by Masami, OmegaConstruct, Eliteness, and Zero Burn. Diablo season, whatever, 24 or some shit came out. There are ethereals. Talk about Diablo. There we go. All right.
It's an homage to Diablo 2.
Yeah, well, sort of. I mean, ethereals.
That's the intention behind it.
Yeah, in Diablo 2, ethereals were weapons that were super powerful. They were unrepairable, and you used them until they were broken, and then they were gone. And now these are ethereals in name only. They're basically just super OP weapons with like 10 extra stats and a free random affix from any of your class's pool of weapons, and also a free passive class ability. So it's just it's yet another in the recent tradition at Blizzard of making the new seasons OP as hell, which is super fun and completely destroying any sort of understanding of what ranking is considered, like what level is considered difficult. But you know, it's fun. Lots of things dying. Really big explosions.
Yeah,
it's 2 minutes, 21 seconds.
And we're done.
Season's over.
Grift 83.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. So far, the ethereals roll incredibly powerful stats, so it makes the meta like shift quite different this season, because you could do like some insane builds. Well, I mean, not that you couldn't before, but the one nice thing is there's a new inners build, which is a new build altogether, which is, you know, you don't get very often. There's a new build in Diablo 3.
I could see the build better if you streamed your game, sir.
Oh, okay. I'll stream again.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got the build as well, and I'm not in the midst of a rift, it sounds like.
I wanted to distract him as much as humanly possible. All right, he's up.
Oh, well.
Yay! I'm busy doing Active Bounty, and then I'll invite everyone to do a cash. If you guys want to team cash,
I got my first primal of the season.
Oh, nice.
It's an Endariel's Visage.
Visage. How lucky are you?
Does it roll max additional fire damage, or minimum additional fire damage?
Max. 5% more fire damage taken.
So you can see, if you're watching mine, you can see.
Well, wait, what is the number on an Endariel's? Is it 5 to 7?
Endariel's?
Yes?
I have no idea.
I believe so. 5 to 7. So you rolled min.
Let me look.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Linus. I'm looking at you!
So that's an example of an ethereal. So you can see you get a plus damage roll, 1000 strength, 1000 dex, crit chance, and then the two orange fixes are the like extra things that can roll. So you get a passive skill, a passive ability, or passive skill from your passives. So it'll roll any one of your passives, and it will roll any random weapon modifier, which is quite neat.
Yay.
Yay. So I've got quite a few of them.
Endariel's is 5 to 10, so it rolls minimum.
Oh, there you go. All right.
So I don't know if you guys want a bag, County Bounty bag.
I'm in the middle of a Nephilim rift, or I would say yes, but I'm good.
Yeah, shoot me an invite.
I don't know if you want a bag. I want a hot bag.
I believe.
I'm a bag hag right now.
So why? Oh, wait, no. Sorry, we have to do this now. Let's go. We're checking Zero Cam right now. Zero, what's up, buddy? There he is. All right, back to Linus. So, yeah, why is Monk hot shit this season?
This Inners build is exceptionally strong. I'll do a grift and you'll see what I'm talking about. Actually crazy.
It is actually quite nasty.
Quite nasty. Yeah, so they buffed Mystic Ally significantly. So you see where it says 1920 weapon damage, your Mystic Ally splits into two allies that explode for 1,920 percent weapon damage. I think that used to be something like 300.
Yeah. So they buffed another
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah, a lot.
I don't
This is the same
remember
reason
what.
why Demon Hunter was steamrolling T16 last season, is because that 50% went to 350% for the multi-shot build.
Yeah, I don't remember what the old Innis set was, but they apparently completely changed it. Like the new this is because of the new Innis set that this build is possible. So
Yeah.
they completely reworked the whole set to just explicitly buff Mystic Ally.
I'm pretty sure it was 4-piece Inas that or maybe it was 6, I don't know, it doesn't matter, let you keep all 4 mantras up at once. Is that no longer the case?
Yeah, you
It
can
is.
get all 4 mantras still.
That is still part of the 4-piece bonus, but in addition to the 4-piece bonus is 5% damage reduction for each Mystic Ally you have out, and your Mystic Ally no longer takes damage. Then the 2-piece increases the passive of your Mystic Ally and the base passive of your mantra by 100. And then the 6-piece is where you get all passive abilities of the 5 Mystic Allies at all times. Your Mystic Allies attacking enemies creates extra Mystic Allies up to 10, and then an extra Mystic Ally damage is 3,000% increase for each Mystic Ally you have out. So, yeah, all these little flame dudes that you see running around, Leetness and myself, are both running the same build. Yeah, it's just it's ridiculous.
But my clothes are different color to yours.
Yep.
Go for vanishing die on everything. Naked monk for the win.
No, yeah, mine is wearing rags and fishnets.
Oh,
Actually,
right.
are you currently looking at? If you're looking at my stream right now,
Just needs a poll.
let's see. There you go.
I mean, they do use Dybos, so
Yeah,
That's not the
She's got-
same thing, Zero. Come on.
Daibo.
Respect the stripping profession.
That just makes it a portable profession at that point.
Hell.
yeah, I've got her in cloth tunic, fishnets, and barefoot Tarantino style.
If you can't feel the blood between your toes, you're not doing it right.
That is an incredibly sexist tone to take, and one that I've come to expect in a game whose parent company has been accused of running frat boy-like business practices. Segways.
The best meme I
Ooh.
saw was that a fraternity was accused of running Activision, of having a culture, an Activision Blizzard-like culture.
I saw that. That was
That's
fucking
great.
great.
That was pretty funny.
Pretty amazing. Yeah, a whole lot of shit. Like that's been continual all this week long. Like I've barely even been able to keep up with all the new additions. I just posted something like half an hour before we all got together here, where like 1,000 Blizzard employees signed an open letter condemning Blizzard's response to the accusations, which is ridiculous.
There was an entire server on WoW that literally just went into Ouroboros and sat down. An entire WoW server of characters just went into Ouroboros and sat down, and there were so many people there that it crashed the server.
I hear Dobby.
Yeah, isn't that what you do in WoW anyway? Is you just sit in town?
I mean,
Oh.
I wouldn't know. I quit playing.
Which is a good move for you.
I know. Like I said in my earlier post, I believe I may have gotten out of WoW at the perfect time.
What was that article about? Something like the entire WoW division isn't working right now or something?
Yeah, no, they are WoW production on WoW content is literally at a standstill. They are doing nothing until this is done.
To be absolutely clear about this, it is 20 there or abouts employees on the development team for WoW who stopped working on Friday in solidarity with the comments made by other Blizzard employees that the statements put out by Activision Blizzard do not represent its employees.
Oh, absolutely, because the statements were absolute dog shit.
Quite.
All right, I'm going to pull this up.
I like it. Company goes, that's not our culture, or that's not our culture now. Employees come out, bullshit, you motherfuckers.
So
It's bad when your ex-employees come out and they say it, and then everybody's going to the ex-employees going, wait a minute, you were there while this was happening. You don't get to say anything because you said nothing.
So the first story that was posted about this was on Kotaku, or that I saw, that was brought to our channel. I think Omega posted this, was on Wednesday of this past week, where Activision Blizzard is sued by the state of California over widespread harassment of women. And this lawsuit was specifically brought by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing after a 2-year investigation into how Activision Blizzard was treating the people who worked for it. So the suit was filed on July 20th, and let's see, it says that Activision Blizzard's compliance with California's broad workplace protections is long overdue, and the DFEH is lodging this to enforce such a compliance. So they put out a whole statement that basically said exactly what we've already said. Frat boy workplace culture, and they brought up numerous examples of this, including women being sexually harassed in the office or just generally harassed, a culture of men playing video games while women were delegated the work, a place where men got drunk in the office or proudly came in hungover, places where women, or especially African American women, faced major challenges when it comes to promotion, or even getting paid fairly. And one incident that I sort of take issue that they just put a blurb of this in their article, where a female employee, quote, committed suicide during a business trip with a male supervisor who had brought butt plugs and lubricant with him on the trip. I know what they're trying to imply with that statement, but that's a hell of a thing to just sort of snip out there and not put context before and after it, if nothing else, in consideration of the victim. Like, be specific about that shit.
They also stated that she had that at a holiday party prior to her taking her own life, that nude photos of her were passed around at a Christmas party.
I read that in an article.
And I think one of the huge things is, and Asmongold, for all of his faults, has actually had a lot of decent things to say about this, in that, while yes, Activision Blizzard is responsible for what has happened, don't take it out on the people who are playing the games and content creators and things like that who are playing the game to make money. Even though he has left the game in completely gone and is no longer playing the game, he was like, the people who work there, the good people who are still there, don't deserve to be completely, sought out against.
Well, and that
because of all of this.
That leads to some of the tweets that were put out by current and former Blizzard employees, including one person who said that he is, or they are very angry about their company's position on this, but they are very proud of the people who they work with, emphasizing company and people.
Yeah.
Anyway, that lawsuit that was brought forth by the DFEH went...
Are you running NEMS, Leetness?
No.
Okay.
Was responded to by Activision Blizzard in a statement saying, "We value diversity, blah blah," accusing the DFEH of distorting and quoting false descriptions of Blizzard past, or false descriptions of Blizzard's past. And yeah, the corporate statement was somewhat it was received poorly by Blizzard's employees, to put it lightly. So Activision Blizzard employees, the next article was from the 24th. Activision Blizzard employees denounce corporate statements. We are here, angry, and not so easily silenced. So that was when, over 20 current Activision Blizzard employees, including World of Warcraft lead game designer Jeremy Fiesel, publicly criticized the company's response, and that's what led to people stopping work last Friday. So yeah,
there was one of the guys, I forget who what his name was, but he was one of the lead designers on WoW, and they said that literally they nicknamed him Cosby, and they nicknamed his office the Cosby Room.
Oof. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And it's not probably because he liked Jello.
Not well.
Well,
yeah. There's always room for Jello.
Yeah, this has been covered extensively in other areas. The Blizzard Activision is not unique in this. I think it's 99% of Forbes' Fortune 500 list have been sued or have faced allegations of sexual harassment in their workplaces last year. So 99% of Fortune 500. That's a lot of companies doing this, and it's been outlined that it's not like this is a shock. It's not like when something like this comes out, nobody knew about it and we're uncovering it. It's when something like this comes out, it's that everyone working for this company had at least some idea of what was going on. It had just been normalized, and that's what's so evil about it. So, yeah, there's... Nicknaming somebody's office the Cosby office makes perfect sense to me, because that's how you cope as a human being when you feel like you have no power to enact change. So you're just like, yeah, that's how it is here. It's awful, but what am I going to do about it? And then somebody eventually gets around to filing a massive lawsuit, hopefully, as happened here. So that's what's, oh yeah, and the latest article is from today. Over 1,000 Activision Blizzard employees signed a letter condemning the company's response to allegations. So there was an open letter published to the leaders of Activision Blizzard, signed so far by 1,000 employees, probably more at this point.
I will say this: there has been an outcrying of support from the developer community around all of this. However, I heard something, and I don't know the exact quote, and I think the tweets have since been taken down. But Bungie kind of took the low road. Bungie took the low road and kind of kicked them while they were down.
Ooh.
And not something that I condone in a company, but seeing as how Bungie did the smart thing and got away from Activision when they did, it does not shock me that they came out and they were like, yeah, so we knew this was going on, and this is part of the reason why we celebrated when we got 3 of them.
That's fun.
Nice.
So,
Well, I just got a barbarian ethereal.
Nice. I got a Crusader one earlier.
that makes no sense.
What happens when you give people a
What?
Oh,
What?
why?
Listen, are you saying something? Blink twice if you're in danger. I'm sorry.
I was trying to go through these articles because somewhere they just outlined a whole bunch of... somewhere they just outlined generally what people had been accusing their employer of, and I was reading through that list and comparing it to our Discord. And...
Don't do that.
Okay. Male employees proudly come into work hungover. Yes. Playing video games for long periods of time during work, yes. And engage about banter about their sexual encounters, talk openly about female bodies, and joke about rape. Yes.
Fuck.
All
Jesus.
of that happens in our Discord.
God.
This
I
is why
crashed.
this is why we are an 18 plus Discord, mind you.
Or maybe we're just terrible people. Yeah, I want to hear from Masami about this. Do you feel harassed in my Discord?
If
Constantly.
anything, I probably harass you guys more than you harass me.
You're right. Your horrible fucking puns at this point have elevated to the level of legal harassment. I will be speaking to a district attorney shortly.
You can speak to our company HR officer. It's basically
Wait,
just a picture of my penis with glasses on the testicles.
So it's
That's awesome.
microscopic, and I would have to get an electron microscope to see it?
It's a picture. It's already enhanced.
Not enough.
I've done the work for you.
Oh god.
Female employees are subjected to constant sexual harassment, including having to continually fend off unwanted sexual comments
what?
by their male coworkers. Yeah.
What happened there?
Accidentally closed the game when I meant to just leave the game.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah, that's why stream cut out there. No worry, we're back. We're up.
that's funny because I'm back at the beginning of the rift. I don't have any portals.
Post migration.
Oh god, yeah, this is the best part of the game, Linus. You get to backtrack all the way to wherever the fuck.
I know. Well, I
I'll
could
let
just
you.
exit
I'll let
and
you
come
go.
back in. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh.
It's just I see it now. It's a regular rift.
Speaking of host migration, I finally got through all of Nightwave just in time for it to reset tomorrow.
Oh, is it resetting tomorrow?
I think so. Sometime
Fun.
this
It means
week.
it means I can not pay attention to it again this season.
The nice
Well,
thing about night waves are that if you ever get in like a mood that you feel like grinding night waves, they keep bringing back ones from the
Old ones.
past. So like you can make up a ton of them. I've spent a whole like multiple hour session just churning through night waves, and it's kind of fun sometimes.
They're not doing the usual Nightwave with the story this time. They're doing something called Nora's Choice, which Steve quote unquote called a more casual experience. So I'm guessing there's like a thin veneer of something, but without any fucking annoying events going on in the game.
When is that going to start?
This soon. Possibly tomorrow or Wednesday, I think.
Oh,
Is that-
shit.
That's taking place of intermission.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just calling it.
technically
So this will be
Nora's
night wave
Choice.
what 4?
Oh yeah, I am
Wait,
curious
you
to
mean
see if this is. It'll depend on what the rewards are. If there are brand new rewards, then yeah, it's a new Nightwave. Otherwise, it's just intermission by another name.
pretty much. They were I have not really sought out any details other than the illusions Steve made during TennoCon. So
Oh, Steve.
we will Steve.
I don't know. That was fine, I guess.
Thanks,
That was one
I
of your
hate
more.
Oh. The puns are flying fast and furious, folks.
I don't like Paul. Is it too soon for a Paul Walker joke? I feel like it's too soon for a Paul Walker joke.
No, he's dead.
I
Fuck
don't
him.
know. Is it going up in flames?
It's,
Hasn't he been gone for like fucking years now?
it's,
It's been a while. It's been a long while.
I really wish we had
Since,
like a proper production department here, so I could bark at someone to play that really super gay clip of CGI Paul Walker and Vin Diesel having man boners while they look at each other in different cars while that stupid song plays.
But you're the one with the soundboard, so does that mean that you would be ordering yourself around?
Yeah, as it is right now, I could probably do that. I just need to put. No, wait, I don't have any of those movies. Shit. That'd be the easiest way to
probably
do
a good thing.
But
That's
yeah,
probably a good thing. They're probably loaded with viruses.
it's-
Not the fun kind either.
was there a Fast and the Furious movie called Tokyo Drift?
There
Yep.
was.
Yes.
It was, yeah.
And did take place in Tokyo.
Of
I've seen the
course.
first 6, and I'm not sure that was a smart idea.
I don't think I've ever seen.
I don't know.
Fast
You
and
saw
Furious
6
movies.
of them, and I'm not sure you're in a position to judge the smartness of decision making.
I'm pretty
Wait.
sure that was during husband number 1, in which case it
Okay,
was
yeah,
one of
you can
those
blame him.
That's
it
yeah.
was one of those situations, as quoted in the Blizzard Activision article, in which he did nothing but played video games and I did all the work. And, I left him.
And the only way that he could get a boner was by watching Paul Walker drift.
Was it Paul Walker drifting? I don't think he was in that movie.
I've never seen one of the fucking things. I don't even care.
I saw the first one. I haven't seen one since. That's how dumb I thought they were.
The one with,
I
the one
take
with
it back.
Vinny.
I saw 15 minutes of one of those movies on some TV station while they were playing it, and I was just like, "Oh, yeah, this is why I've never seen one."
What are they up
First-
to?
9.
That's
And
crazy.
I think the best scene, and it's the only one that I've seen from one of the movies, was when Tyrese was standing there and he said something as The Rock was walking up. He said, "You better hide your baby oil." And The Rock, without missing a beat, and ad-libbed a line and said, "Better hide that big ass fucking forehead." And fucking Ludacris lost his shit.
Yeah, that's a very famous
that meme is
YouTube
great.
video. That's a fucking, what is that, Watch Mojo or some bullshit? It's one of those video compilations, like, top 10 times that an ad-libbed line got added to the movie because it was so fantastic. So what I love about Watch Mojo so much is that they do these top 10 videos of movies and shit that happened in them without ever actually letting you watch any of the stuff that happened in the movie, because if they put that in there, it would be copyright striked.
But they're so good.
Listen to us talk about this thing that happened in a movie. It's fine. It's basically what I do all the time. Alright. So,
That's how I live through movies.
Is that what you're calling it these days?
that's what the kids are calling it. Living vicariously through movies. We can talk a little. Well, there's not much to talk about. Witcher Season 2 got announced. It's
Yay!
supposedly going to release sometime later this year, I think, or early
December.
2022.
December
this year.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Sadly.
We gotta see
Soon, TM.
if Netflix dumps it all at once, or if they do that bullshit that they're doing more and more often these days, where they release episode by episode.
Oh my god, that's
Does
so
Netflix
annoying.
do that with any of their shows?
Yes, Netflix has started to do that with shows.
What shows?
I don't know, man. Don't make me look shit up.
Okay.
Alright, I'll look shit up.
Ted Lasso on Apple TV did that, and I'm so mad about that because I really love that show.
Yeah, I do. That show was. I knew some on like Paramount and Disney do that. I mean, Mandalorian did that on Disney.
Yeah. For no fucking reason either. It's like, what's the point? You know we want to binge watch this shit. Stop trying to make us keep your service.
Well,
That's exactly what it is, because people
I know.
would get
I know,
1 month
but-
of service, watch all the shows, and cancel.
They want you to set and forget.
Yeah, that's what I do.
We know.
They didn't just give us like a premium that we could pay to get it all at once, and we don't have to like be like with all the plates that do the. I'm joking.
I'll tell you, I have not watched any of sorry, no, I did finish Loki this week. I did. But WandaVision was one that I was like, okay, I have to go back and watch each episode like 4 times because I know I missed some shit. And every single time I went back and watched, I missed some shit.
I'm throwing this up on screen just briefly. It's an article from Pop Sugar from September 9th, 2019 that's titled, "Yes, Netflix series will be dropping weekly episodes, but there's a silver lining." So recently, this is 2019, recently the internet went wild with news that Netflix is switching up its signature binge-dropping method to release episodes on a weekly basis like regular cable TV. But before you go canceling your subscription, the truth of the streaming service isn't doing anything drastically new, blah, 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 blah. So there you go.
I'm heartbroken.
That's okay. I'd get my Netflix and Hulu for free because my stepdad has Netflix and my sister has Hulu, so I don't have to pay for either.
And piracy is always an option. But it's not about paying for it. It's about the no longer having the convenience of it dropping all
at once.
and
Yeah,
being able to binge it. Like the cost is not a factor there.
Yeah.
I'm bummed either way.
Yeah, but if you haven't watched Ted Lasso, I highly recommend it. It's an excellent show.
Like, I could almost cut some of the news services slack, but like for Netflix to start doing it, it's like you invented the culture of binge watching.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it is because of Netflix that people binge watch, and that's what people go to Netflix for. So that to me is just like,
don't take away my crack.
It's just like a big fuck you to the user base.
Yeah,
it's like this thing that we gave to you and that we created is exactly what we're taking away, and that's annoying.
I'll tell you, I'm kind of glad they don't do that with Letterkenny because some of the jokes that you have to get like multiple episodes to understand the jokes. Thank God for Canadians.
Some days, yeah.
Thank God for that Bill Shatner. He's a real wild guy.
Thank God for Canadians, except for Justin Bieber. Never Justin Bieber.
Aww.
Never say never.
Oh my God. He just said one of his song names.
Zero, is it too late now to say sorry?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's good.
I think I'm going to throw up.
That's not a song title.
Well, do it to the side. You don't want to get that shit in your microphone.
Linus didn't miss a beat.
With the fucking logic. Good job, bud.
Oh, Christ. Okay, I needed that. Yeah, so anyway, Witcher Season 2 is coming out. The first season was pretty darn good. I'll watch the second season. And in much worse news, Picard Season 2 is also coming out.
Yeah, we never did our big sit-down podcast where we just ripped on Picard.
We did. I came up with notes and I shared them with Omega a while ago, just going episode by episode of Picard and why the show just generally made no sense in the Star Trek universe and why it was a bungled mess.
Well, what happened was there was a couple nights where Doc and I went on multiple 4-hour-long drug-fueled rant sessions together about Picard and just how bad it was and
basic science, fucking science.
Yeah,
in a
just
science fiction show.
A lot of things are really, really bad with that. It's a shame, but we talked about putting together a podcast, and we put together Doc put together a nice topic list with all of his thoughts, and we never just sat around to do it. So now that we got season 2 coming out, we will actually have good reason for us to get on our butts and do it. So we should start thinking about that again. We're gonna, what this means though, we're gonna have to rewatch season 1.
I don't have to. Unfortunately, most of it is still in my brain.
Oh, I think at least for me, a hate watching is going to be in order. I need to reinvigorate my hatred for all
Paramount.
Of it. I need to
for Patrick
I
Stewart.
need to be reminded why all of it
is
there.
Masami, if you really want to get into it, the reason that Star Trek Picard ended up the way that it ended up is because Patrick Stewart would not have it any other way. The showrunners approached him twice with fully not fully fleshed out stories, but with story concepts and story concept arts and storyboards and things that you could actually go through and say, this is how we're going to build the episode. And twice Patrick Stewart turned it down because he just didn't want to do it. When they gave him a modicum of creative control and he decided to make Picard Space Jesus fighting against Space Brexit, then he said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. That's what fucking happened.
You're not wrong, but that is a very succinct way
I mean,
of
if we're
putting that.
Omega, I'm all for just doing a podcast or something where we rip on Picard. I have no problems, no qualms with that. But to make it perfectly clear, I'm not ripping on it because it's a bad science fiction show. I'm ripping on it because it is not Star Trek. It has completely missed the point. Alex Kurtzman, that fuck, is responsible for ruining a lot of the more modern Star Trek that has come out, starting with the movies.
Yeah, and this is that's literally been my exact argument against the new Star Trek movies since their inception, is that if you called them kick-ass action space movie title and just made them kick-ass space action movies, they'd be great. But the moment that they attach the name Star Trek to it, that means something. They just plastered Star Trek name and branding all over a kick-ass action space movie that wasn't a Star Trek movie. And that's wrong. Like, Star Trek means something beyond just, hey, we're in spaceships.
Well, especially when Star Trek Picard was so inappropriately titled. It shouldn't have been called Star Trek Picard at all, not only for the reasons that you just outlined. It should have been called Mass Effect. Because it was fucking Mass Effect. Sorry, we're talking about video games. I don't know if anybody's actually thought about that, because we've all played Mass Effect.
That's actually true, because Mass Effect is the hero story. Star Trek is never the hero story.
Right.
Star Trek has never been one person saves the day. Saves the world, or fucking galaxy. Star Trek has always been, this team comes together, led by a captain, but every member of it is valuable. Instead, Picard absolutely is Captain Shepard and his band of support characters that help him on his mission to save the galaxy. That's actually pretty fucking spot on.
Go even further into the plot. It's Commander Shepard and his space cronies saving the galaxy from a machine race that is going to come and wipe out all organic life. Again, that's just what happens in the show. Like, this plot has been done.
I won't hold that against them so much, because the Star Trek had the Borg before Mass Effect had Reavers. And Reapers, sorry. And end of the day, a race of alien machines coming to kill everything is not at all, or it is absolutely a massive trope that is not at all exclusive to any one franchise. So, I mean, fuck, Battlestar is the same trope.
Oh,
that is true. I'm not so much the trope. I'll acknowledge the trope has been used many times in science fiction before, from Asimov to Frank Herbert's backstory for Dune was that the thinking machines basically almost wiped out humanity. Of course, it's a trope that's been used an awful lot, but Mass Effect specifically, they found a Prothean beacon with a warning in it that is they took the footage from Mass Effect where Shepard touches the beacon, and they they basically copy-pasted it right into Picard with the Romulans touching the beacon that they found.
Yeah.
And where do the Romulans have to go to do something? The planet the Earth people call Mars, which is also where Mass Effect's beacon thing started. So there's this whole series of plot lines that just mirror Mass Effect way too closely for me to think anything but Alex Kurtzman watched a game movie on YouTube that was the story of Mass Effect. He said, hey, that's really cool, and he decided to put that in one of his TV shows, and it happened to be Star Trek Picard.
Yeah, that's a few too many coincidental similarities.
So to tie it back to video games, he pulled a Steve.
He did, yeah.
Oh,
He saw something he liked
God.
in a video game and he incorporated it into his own work. That's exactly what DE does for a lot of shit. It's true. So yeah, you look forward to that at some point. Omega and I'm gonna need a lot of. I don't actually want alcohol for that one. You said drug fueled. That was accurate. I gotta get some of those drugs.
Goodness gracious.
God, I want to be here for this now. I am hyped.
Well, I don't have any access to drugs, so I can be
private conversations that we'll have to edit down and.
Yeah, this is
probably not a live event. Yeah.
No, it will be a live event. Let me tell you, I'll put it to you this way. Doc and I have known each other a really long time, and we've gone deep on some weird tangents and conversations, and like, it is not at all interesting in its entirety, in the totality of what is being said. It is really not at all interesting.
no.
And
It's interesting to the two of us.
Nuggets.
That's it.
There are nuggets of gold that can be found and sifted through, but it would be 4 hours of us just being boring as shit.
It was, if I recall correctly, the first major point in Picard that I brought up, because it was in the very start of episode 1, after the Fox News reporter, was the physics of how a supernova works. And that was probably a half an hour to 40 minutes of Omega and I either looking at Scientific American or finding articles from Nova.
We literally did research together. We did hours of research on the mechanics of supernovas.
And comparing
because the entire plot.
There are star charts. There's a
plot,
fucking star chart of the Alpha Quadrant in the Star Trek universe, which is canon. It is used, and you can see that the Romulan star. Yeah, the official Star Trek, you can see in the Romulan Star Empire, around the Romulan planet, it is a red giant star. It can go supernova. However, using that as the starting point, we both had many, many questions about how supernovas worked, and we discovered the answers, and we found out that the entire scientific premise for this show makes no sense.
None at all. Like, here's what gets me. Basically, it goes down to this. By the official location of Romulus, yeah. Romulus, according to the official canon star charts, if their star went supernova, they are not far enough away that we would not be fucked also.
Sol would be experiencing some pretty horrendous shit if it wasn't just outright destroyed.
Yes. So, like, Earth was pretty much right at the edge of, like, the immediate death zone if that star went supernova, because they're not that far away in the galaxy. Like, Romulus, in the grand scheme of the actual galactic map, is pretty damn close.
It's within 60 light years of Earth.
But more so than that is the simple fact that there's a border between Federation space and Romulan space that is far away from Earth. And there's dozens, if not hundreds, of Federation colonies, planets, space stations, outposts, etc. between here and there, where, like, basically somewhere in the ballpark of a third to a half of Federation space would basically just have been wiped out if the Romulan star went nova. And in this show, in that premise, the only people who were at risk because of this supernova was the Romulan home planet. None of the neighboring planets, none of the rest of the galaxy, not any of the Federation space. That, like, the Romulan border was pretty close to Romulus. Like,
yes, it is. It's right up next. It's
the Federation
it's
pushed
Seoul.
the border.
It's Seoul,
like,
in South Korea. It's Seoul. It's right next to the neutral zone.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So they're right there. If, like, a ton of Federation space would have been wiped out, and they're pretending like it's just a Romulan problem. So the entire premise on which the entire plot of this series is based is just flawed, basic astronomy.
And of course, if the supernova somehow miraculously didn't get outside of the Romulan system, the Romulan star system, then the rest of the Romulan star empire, which is fucking massive, would have been unaffected. So you're telling me that their entire economy was crippled and their people were scattered to the wind because they lost one solar system? And if the rest of the solar system got wiped out, things travel spherically in space. Big explosion, it travels in a sphere. You can't just choose what you're going to destroy on one half of the sphere. So there are so many problems with this, just starting off. And that's not even getting into the show.
No. This was just step one. This is the premise that's flawed.
So I think you two have just beautifully displayed your point, and also you two are fucking beautiful together. Let me just put it that way.
We believe you.
Okay, so I have a question, and it is logical.
Recognized.
Is it odd that I have a boner right now?
Perfectly normal.
Okay, just making sure.
It would be odd if you didn't.
Like that entire 10-minute tirade
God,
right
did it
there
last that long?
was great, and I loved it. Like, part of me wants to start like putting timers up when when the two of you start going into something like that, because
you
it's
need to start
awesome.
Hosting. You need to start hosting again so you can do that.
Okay,
This is why we couldn't do that sort of thing live, though, because what you guys just heard is basically Doc and I fondly revisiting old rants that we've had in the past that took about 2 hours of research before we were like,
that's
research
summary.
that we were angry about doing. Like, this was over the course of hours, like reading academic papers on like how wide the area of effect of a supernova is, and like reading like various space.com articles and all that other shit.
Oh, okay. So NASA, so I'm pretty sure NASA on their website have a whole bunch of articles about observed spatial phenomenon, and so that I'm pretty sure it was NASA where I went to look at supernovas that have actually been observed. How do we know how far an impact wave travels off of a star that's gone supernova? Well, it turns out that we've actually observed it multiple times.
Did not know that.
Yeah. That's it took quite a long time to, because I mean, you come up with an argument for anything, and I'm game. I like arguing, but I'll take up, even if I disagree with it, I'll take up a contrary position. So I'll think of all these things that could defend, the bullshit it turns out that was in Star Trek Picard science, and everything. I ran out of material to try and excuse it. So
there was some stuff that we disagreed on, though. So it wasn't all agreed ranting. I don't remember specifically what it was.
I don't either.
Why we would need to revisit, but yeah.
I also remember about 20 minutes worth of research into how a transwarp coil works. That was fun. I'm not sure why we were doing that either.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. If I had to imagine they did something dumb with it, that like
they did something stupid with traveling or something. Because that's the other thing. I mean, it is a Star Trek show. It's Star Trek Picard. It is perfectly fair for you to bring in shit that happened in all the other Star Trek series. There is a long body of work.
The problem is, yes, transwarp exists in Star Trek. It has well established. The problem is when this show comes along and they use the transwarp blah 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 machine to do something bullshit that never has nothing to do with whatever transwarp was in its previous incarnation.
It's like, why do we? Yeah, they're using it as a crutch. Like, why do we need this? Oh, so we can get the plot moving along.
They're attaching a Star Trek. They're attaching a Star Trek sounding name to the whatever device. Do you guys know the whatever device rule?
No.
Doc, you should know this one. So in the movie Thank You for Smoking, there is a scene where Aaron Eckhart, who plays the cigarette lobbyist, is talking to what's the movie producer actor's name? I can picture his face.
I don't. I know who you're talking about. Oh, IMDb it.
Anyway, they're talking about getting the actors in a sci-fi movie to smoke cigarettes on screen to make cigarettes look cool. And the movie producer's like, or no, the Aaron Eckhart character, the lobbyist, is like, wait a minute, they're in an all-oxygen environment in space. Won't the cigarettes cause an explosion? And the movie producer's like, no, that's the great thing about sci-fi. You just invent the whatever device, and it's not a problem anymore. So, they used transwarp whatever as a whatever device rather than making it actually something to do with how transwarp has been manifested in Star Trek previously. And that is, goes back to making a cool sci-fi show and calling it Star Trek when it's not a Star Trek show.
Wasn't Rob Lowe, was it?
Yes.
It's Rob Lowe, okay.
Rob Lowe was the movie producer character. That's a good movie. If any of you haven't watched it, I recommend Thank You for Smoking. It is quite hilarious.
Thank You for Smoking is a good movie. If nothing else, you don't even have to agree with the politics of it, and you'll never see a cigarette in the entire movie, but it is about a tobacco lobbyist.
I mean, it's absolutely a comedy, and it doesn't paint them in a good light.
Yes, it is a comedic satire of how tobacco lobbying works in this country.
Work also takes place years ago, back when tobacco companies were.
It does. Was
kind of the Wild West.
I closed the tab, but I think it's 2005.
Because at the end of the movie, is I believe when that big court case happened, that like tobacco companies were really dunked on by the courts to like tune of billions of dollars for lying for decades and decades about the risks.
Yeah.
So, good movie. Recommend it. Any of you haven't seen it?
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, so Star Trek Picard came out season 2. By the way, what is that on? CBS All Access?
Paramount Plus is what it's called now.
Oh, Paramount Plus. Alright, show us your fucking numbers. Show us how many people actually watch Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery. I want to know what your audience is, because I don't believe for a second that 40 million people tuned in to watch the finale of Star Trek Picard. Prove me wrong, Paramount.
Well, it was CBS All Access when season 1 aired, but since that point, Paramount has decided to roll that in with all of their movies and all that bullshit.
Wait, aren't they doing don't they have a split platform where they have, or is that a different network, where they have, like, their current TV shows of the past 10 years, and then anything over 10 years is an archive? They call it, like, Paramount Archive or some shit. I don't know if it's actually them or if it's another studio, but that's an ingenious idea. You have two services. One's for old shit that's more than 10 years old, and one's for new shit that's less than 10 years old, and you roll over all your TV shows. So if you want to keep on watching, you need to be subscribed to two. That is a great way to squeeze money out of idiots.
Beautiful.
Thankfully, we're not idiots, and we know how to torrent safely.
The Church of Chonkwij does not encourage piracy, but yeah, you should go pirate it.
Yar. I'll get out my pirate hat.
I'm being told by our lawyers that I should make it clear that we're joking.
Wait, we have lawyers on retainer? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That could have been helpful last week.
Does someone here have a law degree I don't know about?
No, it's a different guy. Jeb over there is our lawyer. I got him in preparation for all the sexual harassment lawsuits that will inevitably come upon the church. Mostly from what
I see what you did there with the word play on that one.
Wouldn't a tailor be a better idea for lawsuits?
Oh. Now I'm sad.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a meeting with HR tomorrow, Masami.
That's great. Is HR Zero's puppy? Because that works.
I think we can make that happen.
He's getting Zero's dog in a tiny little suit and some glasses. We're like, yeah, she's in charge of HR. She was a diversity hire. We needed a dog. We needed a dachshund.
Diversity hire. Oh my god.
Well, a dog for HR is better than a cat.
That's for sure.
Yeah, they're assholes, man.
Oh.
No yawning.
Sorry, didn't mean to. It's been a day.
Yeah,
You're dead.
Hasn't it just?
Thank God, though, training ends this week on this new job. So,
Let's see. All right, so that's pretty much it. Unless we want to talk about the new NVIDIA RTX 4000 cards that are grinding through the rumorville currently. There is nothing actually official about this. It's all just rumor.
Nope, I just threw it on there because, hey, there's a new number in town.
Yep,
Rumors floating around about the 4. So here, the NVIDIA 4s, 4000 whatevers.
It will be, the RTX 4000, which, again, there's no official news about it. It's all rumor, but it's rumored to be based on 5nm architecture, which is pretty neat, or an enhanced version of the 5nm architecture, at least. And its code name, whatever project name, is Lovelace, which is probably an homage to Ada Lovelace, who... this is going to be an unpopular opinion. She is often, and in my opinion, incorrectly credited as the first computer programmer. But yeah, still a thing that's gonna happen. So yeah.
We shall see how expensive and obscenely powerful they are when they are actually unveiled.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. First of all, when they're unveiled, the GTX 1080 Ti's are still going to be $800. Because NVIDIA made a product too good. And nobody wants to get rid of GTX 1080. But yeah, it's gonna. I'm calling it right now. Any new GTR RTX card that comes out is gonna start at $1,200. That's my official guess. Mark the date and the time.
Well, that might be the MSRP. We'll have to see what they actually cost when there's the inevitable shortage and people hoarding them for cryptocurrency mining.
Who were those fuckbags last week that we were talking about? Who were divvying out? You had to like put in a $5 deposit.
Steam.
Steam. Oh yeah, for the Steam Deck. Yeah. There's some news about the Steam Deck too. It's a very versatile machine. Blah blah blah. Wonderful. Go pick it up. But yeah, I wonder if NVIDIA will do that too. Like, you need to put a $5 deposit down on your whatever graphics card, so that we can keep track of who is doing. No, that's shitty. That's pre-ordering with extra steps.
Pre-order.
I love it. I got that reference. Sorry.
Rick and Morty season 5 also out.
Yup.
Oh,
Need to watch that yet.
It's good stuff.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I kind of want to watch it. The thing that keeps me from really watching it is Rick and Morty fans.
That's the thing. Yeah, I know people that never watch Monty Python for the same reasons, because other people ruined Monty Python for them by quoting it or by saying it's the best and all the rest of that. So I try not to do that.
But it is the best.
It's a good show. It's a funny show. It's got a pretty good premise. Basically entirely borrowed from Back to the Future, but still pretty fun.
Well, I mean, considering that's where it started.
Oh yeah.
So.
Except for Doc Brown wasn't a total cockbag.
Well, I mean, true. I was trying to disagree with that, but there was no way I could, because Rick is a total cockbag.
Yeah, okay. Doc Brown wasn't a cockbag. Christopher Lloyd might be.
But this is true.
Separate the art from the artist. Alright, so that'll about do it. Coming up on an hour. GG's everybody. Thank you for playing Diabler for the crowd to watch.
Yay!
Hooray!
And
Season 20 whatever.
24.
The season of Kiefer Sutherland. That was not funny. He didn't have to let nobody... Jesus Christ, yeah. The post-show is basically going to be us talking about Fox TV shows that don't exist anymore.
I love 24. That was a good show.
All hail Firefly.
You remember when the super secret world-saving spy played by Kiefer Sutherland used a Bluetooth headset device, which is notoriously one of the most insecure formats of wireless communication ever invented?
Hey, he was saving lives.
That's right. He didn't
Well
time.
said.
He didn't have time for WPA2 security encryption.
Nope. Nobody's got time to set up Wi-Fi when you got Bluetooth right there.
Ain't nobody got time for wires. Ain't nobody got time to wire a headset into a cell phone. What is this, the Dark Ages?
Oh, speaking of
Shit.
Bluetooth, you want to know how to piss off an entire executive portion of a company?
You trick
Oh,
the
God, what
microwave
did you
into
do?
thinking. You trick the microwave into thinking that the door is closed, and then you just turn it on and leave it.
No, security mandates that Bluetooth is not allowed to be enabled for any device on company laptops
Oh, that's awesome.
because it's insecure.
It really is. That's a solid job. If you can't be fucking bothered to plug headphones into a jack. Alright, okay.
Honestly, sloppy IT for even having them enabled on company computers.
Aye.
So now it's going to be peripherals only or some bullshit like that. But there was enough complaints that security reversed its position.
Hmm.
So that was hilarious.
Like, an IT administrator can disable Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're gonna
And-
one more time to the zero cam. Hey! And there he is! Alright. I'm gonna take us out. Thank you everybody for joining us for the Church of Chonkwij podcast. It's been a blast. We'll be back same time, same whatever next week. I don't really have an outro down. I should work on that. But yeah.
Penis.
Penis, exactly. Thank you. Penis.
That's the outro. The microscopic outro.
Oh.
Oh.
Just because it's true
Damn.
doesn't mean you have to say it.